Browns back at practice, and we have some clarity at the quarterback position, Mary Kay. P.J. Walker will start. Kevin Stefanski made that announcement today. He will start in Seattle on Sunday. Deshaun Watson, as Kevin put it multiple times, will continue to rehab. Are you at all surprised that Kevin just decided to come out and make this announcement today?
No, I'm not. In fact, I kind of laid this out yesterday in a small column saying, shut him down, let PJ start, name him right away. He needs to get his timing down with his receivers. Don't take this all the way up until, Friday or Saturday or whatever. And finally, for once, they listened to me and they got it right. So, no, just kidding about that. But yes, this was the right thing to do. And now PJ can go out there and really work with the ones. Everybody knows what's going on. There's no mystery to it. And Deshaun, it's the right thing to shut him down and let him rehab that shoulder. I never thought he should have played against the Colts. I think he needs to sit this one out and maybe even the next one.
Yeah, Ash, we've talked about this on podcasts and probably in other videos. If your quarterback is at a point where one hit is going to have the head coach concerned, you really do have to reevaluate if he should even be out there in the first place.
Yeah, I'm with Mary Kay. I did not think he should have tried to play against the Colts last week. I think we were both very vocal about that in the lead up to that game, and I think the first few series he played only proved that. So I definitely think this is the right route. I do think, again, it's interesting just how the messaging has changed on this throughout the weeks here. It went from being something that's not so long-term, initially they thought, to now we're in, the third or fourth week of this at this point with still no clear end in sight, I don't think.
Yeah, Mary Kay, just to continue on this, because this has become a longer-term injury than I think even the Browns expected. You mentioned it. Could we be going through this again next week? How much longer do you think this could linger?
Well, it really just depends on when he gets the strength back in the shoulder. What we saw in Indianapolis is that he just did not have the velocity on the ball. He still has pain in there, and he still has swelling. There is residual swelling. He took that big hit on it against the Colts, and probably the hard fall was the worst impact. And so, it just looks to me like this could linger on maybe another week after this. Maybe he gets going again against the Ravens in Baltimore. But the key here is that he needs to be 100%. He needs to be well. He's not even going to be the backup in this game. DTR will be the backup. Deshaun will make the trip, but he's not going to play at all.
And Ashley, the clarity, though, really does matter here.
Yeah, I think that's the key with a guy like P.J. Walker who doesn't necessarily have a ton of that experience, even just experience in terms of getting the ones reps in practice, because we know Kevin Stefanski is very particular about that. The starting quarterback gets the bulk of the practice reps. So I really think, again, if you can just get him as many reps as possible with his pass catchers, that's really key going into the game. And I think it intangibly prevents all that speculation inside the locker room and guys not knowing who's going to be throwing the ball on Sunday.
Now, one more thing to talk about on the injury front. Jerome Ford, he did not practice today. He's not expected to play on Sunday. I think we can safely say that. Kareem Hunt did not practice today. He's still dealing with a thigh injury that was really a game-time decision on Sunday. Mary Kay, the running back position, it's still very much up in the air at this moment.
Yeah, it really is, and that's unfortunate because they had a nice 1-2 punch going with Jerome and Kareem. You've got your explosive guy, your home run hitter in Jerome. You've got your power guy in Kareem, and it was working out pretty well. Now Jerome will be out for at least probably a couple of weeks. I saw him walk out in a boot today, a right boot on a high ankle sprain, and hopefully for them they'll get him back, but they had to go out and add a couple of guys to the practice squad today. They've got Pierre Strong on the active roster, so now it will be Kareem and Pierre for the most part in Seattle.
And Ashley, this just isn't ideal. When you know you're starting your backup quarterback and you're going to be thin at running back, like I said, Kareem, it was iffy if he was going to make it to game day last week. He'll probably try again this week, but you just don't know what percentage he's going to be at. This is not a great place to be.
No, I think it's obvious if you can't have your starting quarterback, you would want to maybe rely on the run game more in a perfect world. And obviously, I think in that perfect world, if the Browns didn't have Deshaun Watson, but had Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Jerome Ford, that would be a great spot, I think, to be in for that part of your offense, and you can do so much with those guys. So it definitely is another hiccup, and especially Kareem, I think what's so great about him, we talked about this a lot with him over the past few years, he's a great safety valve in the offense because of how he can catch the ball. So I think it'll be really important if he is able to rally and play again this week.
Okay, full coverage of the quarterback decision, everything else that happened here in Berea, it's all at cleveland.com/Browns.